What's poppin'? Today we're going to be going over a couple more games with the Orcust Eldlich list that I showed off the other day. These I want to go into a little bit more depth than the game that I showed off on that first video. Again, I just want to mention giveaway going on right now. Check the description. I've got a link to the giveaway. I'm trying to give y'all some stuff, so go over there and maybe win some stuff. I don't know. The winner will get my most precious and most prized card, this Jimmy John's gift card that has about $2 on it. So if you feel like winning that, yeah, go check out my video in the description. So anyway, first game that we've got here is going to be actually against this weird going first Gren Maju deck, which going first Gren Maju makes a lot of sense, right? So yeah, he wins the die roll, chooses to go first. We open Ash, Imperm, Prosperity, Babel, Conquistador, which is like, okay, you don't really want to open Babel. Like I said, I might even cut this. Who knows? Prosperity is good for digging for our engine cards, but we don't have anything playable like just to get the turn started. Our opponent opens Gren Maju, Desires, Thunderbird, Gizmek, and Summon Limit. Summon Limit is busted. That's why I cite it all the time. Anyway, so he starts off with Desires, banish 10, draw 2, draw Stromberg, and Desires. So this is useful. Clearly that's not. I wasn't really sure what to Ash against this deck, so I just threw out the Ash there. He goes for Thunderbird. We miss. Goes for Gizmek. Goes into Draglubion. I try to impermit, but I can't because he can't be targeted. Anyway. Goes into Hope Harbinger. This is a really, really cool card. Sets twin and passes. So this hand basically, there's not much we're going to be able to do. Like, even if we get engine cards, this kind of illuminated that my deck can have trouble with playing against just a few big monsters. If we don't have removal, like with Eldlich in hand, it can be hard to get through them. Anyway, so we imperm the Hope Harbinger, mill 6, and nothing crazy. Yeah, really nothing here is that good. Oh, there we go. So we pick up the Foolish Goods so that we can just send Crescendo, search Girsu. But still, it's not looking super hot here. So we do just that. Goods, Crescendo, Crescendo add Girsu. Normal Girsu, Girsu effects, and Nightmare, Nightmare Wand, and Scoop. He flips Summon Limit, like there's literally nothing I was going to be able to do there. So game 2, we go first. And opening hand, Girsu, Prosperity, Burial, Crescendo, Eldland. It is nice opening up Crescendo just to get the flexibility of like if we want to, overextend and get the Babel, have Babel plus Crescendo in like a Ding Engrave. But anyway, our opponent opens D-Shifter Lancia, which is like kind of funny to think about. But yeah, D-Shifter Lancia, Gren Maju, Bigfoot, Hextrude. Like, these two cards are both really good against this deck, but you'll kind of see, since we're not playing in the traditional, like, graveyard control Orcust style, the Dimension Shifter doesn't hurt that much, because all we want is banished Orcust so that we can get Crescendo live. That's it. So, Nightmare, Girsu, excuse me. He chains D-Shifter. We go second effect. I know I said usually you don't want to use the second effect, but this is the case where we had to. Link Karibo, Galatea, return for a Babel. I don't think this Babel comes up at all. my thought process was we may as well activate the Babel so that Gal is a quick effect, and we can return on his turn Girsu to just go +1. That was basically it. We already had the crescendo, but this way, if we did that, we could have a crescendo that would be live on his turn with this one, my turn off of the one that gets set, and then if we win another turn, we'd activate her effect again on my next turn and have another live crescendo. Anyway, we activate Eldland, pay feel great, and then go prosperity just to kind of dig for more interruptions. Mill 6, pick up the Scarlet, send everything else back. Scarlet was like the obvious choice there. Nothing else was going to make a difference. And pass turn. So he tops Stromberg. Activate. I was really glad that I actually didn't hit the Bigfoot this time, because if the Bigfoot would have just popped Gal, we definitely would have been in some trouble there. So yeah, he brings out Black Luster Soldier. We activate the Scarlet just to summon Eldlich right here so that Gal doesn't get destroyed. So he just redirects, beats over, activates the effect. We chain crescendo, and he scoops. I mean, there's the only thing I guess what he could have / should have done was, of course, crescendo banishes. He wasn't going to be doing. Oh, but then he wanted to banish. I'm not sure if he had another play. I'm sure he had to have something else that he could have gone for to get the Gal off board, but I don't know. I don't know his deck. Anyway, game 3, we open Prosperity, Imperm, Conquistador, Wakero, Golden Lord. So a lot of Eldlich cards, which isn't exactly what you want to see, but you can make do. Just using the Golden Lord for removal or whatever. Our opponent opens Glyph, I guess, the Phantom Bird, Twin Twister, Eater, Gren Maju, and Desires. So Gren Maju Desires is good. Eater is always good. And then back row removal against my deck is really important. Plus, they've got the Stromberg. So, I mean, I would guess this is a good hand for them, but I don't really know. Again, I don't really play Gren Maju. Draws basically 2 dead cards. Yeah, that's not really ideal. Anyway, he gets the Stromberg. Activate special. What he could have done, maybe it wouldn't have been worth it. Sorry. I don't know if it would have been worth it to just, instead of activate or summoning the Hextrude, because she doesn't do anything on my turn, just set the Gren Maju. But I guess the castle provides some protection for her, so maybe that's better. Anyway, we top deck Crescendo, which is really huge, because this, like, opening these 2 cards is so nice. You just go Eldlich, pitch Crescendo, pop a card, Crescendo, search Girsu. You've got your engine going. So that's exactly what we do. We pop the twin. I was debating on if I wanted to remove the Hextrude, but I'm clearly glad that I got rid of the twin. Girsu, send Nightmare, you know the drill. Let's go. Oh, so here, I was kind of thinking, here's my plan. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, or I wanted a way to get another monster on board so that I could get Ding effect going. So basically the prosperity was to try and dig for, anything, like even like a symbol, what we end up hitting, the Foolish Burial. Or if I didn't hit Foolish, just picking up another interruption, like Eldland would have been really nice. Like there were a lot of good things that we could have chosen, but Yeah, we pick up Foolish, and that's like pretty much perfect for my plan here, because we're gonna end up ending with uh, Ding and Grave and Babel, so it's nice. Anyway, we summon Gal, activate Crescendo, Foolish, you know, the drill. Get Ding out, Ding attached just to keep the engine going. Um, yeah, and then also he lets me burst through the protection effect of Stromberg, which I always forget this card has effects. But this one, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent, Ding doesn't get destroyed, so because of his protection effect, and then also he can crash with the Hextrude. Um, the other option would have been using the Ding effect to send and sending either Hextrude or Stromberg, but I think this turned out fine. Anyway, then we poke with Girsu, go back into Gal, set 4. So we've got Wakero, Conquistador, Crescendo, and Imperm. So really only 2 interruptions, but we've got the way, we've got these engine cards. What I could have done, should have done in hindsight, um, activate the Golden Lord effect to like send Wakero, for instance. Just keep him in hand, because of course, this is something that I always forget. Let's see. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell or trap you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then you can special summon a zombie monster. So I could have just used his effect, send the Wakero to grave, end with Lord in hand, and then banish the Wakero for a Scarlet to make Conquistador another interruption. Um, this is a hard deck, and I'm not that smart, so I don't always think of these things, but that's why I'm here talking to you, so hopefully that you can remember. But that would have given us another interruption, which is always good. More interruptions are better. Anyway, live and learn. So banish for Stromberg, banish for Desires, draw Lancia, freaking Lancia Desires. That sucks. That's like so bad. Yeah, he sighted in and drew Lancia both games 2 and 3 and didn't get to activate it, which is unfortunate. Summon Eater, summon summon Gren, flip Imperm, scoop. I mean, honestly, I don't know if he should have. I mean, I guess that's probably best. I could have just like kind of walled up and not had anything in attack position, and he wouldn't have been able to beat through, but he still has 2 Gren Majus. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that was the first game. Clearly, I did not play that perfectly, but it kind of shows you what the deck can do and how the interactions weave together. And yeah. Anywho, game number 2. This game is going to be against Sky Striker. My rating's okay. It's only 564, but I play with a lot of weird decks, and our opponent's at 607, which is also pretty good. Anyway, we are going first. Return, Babel, Scarlet, Nightmare, Conquistador. So both engines up and running. Babel, which again is like okay, but it's not the greatest. Our opponent opens Rose, Strike, Duster, Jamming Waves, which I'm kind of surprised they're maining. I don't feel like people do that very much right now, but people don't really play Sky Striker right now. Also, Neo Thrasher is, I'm sure, 1,000 times better Sky Striker player than I am, so I'm not going to question him. And Strike. So 2 Strike. And, the engine going is okay. So we start off with Return, send Nightmare, draw Prosperity Symbol, which is drawing Prosperity off of a draw card always sucks, but the games tend to go long enough that it's okay. Like, I'll just activate it next turn. It's fine. The other thing I really like about this deck too, going off on a little tangent, is like the extra deck like basically doesn't matter. you only need like Gal and sometimes Ding. Like those are the only two cards I ever summon from the extra deck. But which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's so much different from how I usually play Orcust. Anyway, Orcust stuff. Get Gal, get Crescendo, Ding. Usually I don't recommend kind of overextending like that, but since we already had the Babel and we could end, like I wanted the Ding engraved so I could get the extra interruption. We would have been much more susceptible to nib, like if he nibbed me here, but also we could still with Babel activate Symbol in like our opponent's standby and have Gal, but then that turns off Scarlet. But uh, it's hard. It's hard to kind of decide. Anyway, we end with 1, 2, and 3 interruptions, but pretty strong ones like uh, non-targeting destroy, negate and banish, non-targeting send. Like that's not too bad. And again, we've got both of our engines running, which is the most important part because like Gal generates cards, Eldlich cards generate cards. Like it's going to be really hard to push through everything that we can set up on a turn-by-turn basis. So he starts with the Feather Duster, and you can even see he goes like he like immediately banishes it. Like he knew I was just going to negate it. But activate Jamming Waves on the Scarlet. We just chain it. Raigeki. So sorry, this I get distracted, but this is another example of how the two engines can conflict with the Babel, right? Like our options were activate this Scarlet so that we could keep this engine going, or we let the Scarlet die so that we can keep the Orcust engine going and use the Symbol and keep the Ding going. But clearly here I decided to activate the Scarlet so that Conk would still be live, but it can be hard to determine whether you want to sorry, I completely blanked out. It can be hard to determine whether you want to keep the Eldlich or the Orcust engine going or which interactions you want to use, but I still stand by the general rule of Orcust cards on your turn, Eldlich cards on your opponent's turn. So anyway, normal stuff here. We clearly don't chain the Conquistador so that we can generate advantage from it in the end phase. We can still use Nightmare, which is nice. Nightmare just to send. So now we've got like he has more cards on board and active, but we've got like Symbol a +1, Crescendo's a +1, next Conquistador's a +1, Wand's a +1. Like we have so many cards. We have so many freaking cards. So anyway, he short cannons the Eldlich, which I don't know if that was the right choice, but that's what he does. Yeah. So we fire off a Prosperity. We drew 1 for turn. And this is a pretty decent mill. Like Crescendo we're not going to take, but I mean, getting the Eld land is huge. We probably wouldn't. I guess Lord could work, but I'm sure we take the Eld land, right? Yeah. So, oh yeah, Crescendo, add Girsu, normal Girsu. He strikes it, which is honestly fine for us. We still have Symbol and Wand. Like, that's just not that big of a deal. Symbol bring back Gal. Wand effect. Oh, and then he strikes the Galatea, which is pretty good. Turns off my Crescendo engine. So yeah, we just go Eldland, add Wakero, and now we've got the Eldlich engine going. It's like once the engines get going, it's so hard to stop because you stop the Orcust stuff. It's like, okay, fine, I'll play Eldlich. You stop the Eldlich stuff, fine, I'll play Orcust. Like, yeah, I don't really care. So yeah, we pop. He chains Ray. We walk Hero, and this is another one of my favorite things about this deck. We don't lose to mine. We don't lose to mine. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, I get giddy when I think about not losing to mine. Because yeah, Conquistador just outs it. And we can search it every turn. And yeah, we're just fine. Yeah, there was literally nothing he was going to be able to do there. He knew he had lost. So we go first. This hand is crazy, foolish. Like we play so few extenders. Drawing an extender and foolish is just amazing. Summon limit, busted card. I hate playing against it, so I play it. Gearsu, Prosperity, Cosmic. Like Cosmic is always good against a striker. Our opponent opens Ray, Ash, Ray, Gamma Seal, Upstart, which sucks. Like this just is not very good, but sometimes that happens. I mean, Ash is good. Gamma Seal has its uses, but you know. Anyway, we do Orcust stuff. The same general thing I talk about, just Nightmare, Wand, etc. Galatea, get our crescendo, activate, hope for either more interruptions or to get the next engine going. Pick up Scarlet, which is nice. Set 3 more and pass. So, yeah, this is good. This is really strong. Like, summon limit plus an Omni negate is really hard to get through. So, Gamma Seal over Galatea, so he turns off my negate. Upstart, draw a card, picks up the Widow Anchor, I think it was. Desires, draw 2. Yeah, now his hand is like starting to look okay. So here's the deal. I messed up this interaction so bad. I messed it up so bad. And what's frustrating about it is when he first activated this, I was like, okay, click. I know exactly how to do this. And then when it came time to execute, I biffed it. I just threw it all away. Here's what was supposed to happen. I let this be Chainlink 1, this be Chainlink 2, and then I go Chainlink 3 Crescendo, target area 0, Chainlink 4 Summon Limit. This doesn't resolve. He's already summoned 2 monsters, so she doesn't resolve, and then I win. Like, what are you gonna do? What I end up doing is just shotgunning the Cosmic, which is so bad. I'm still frustrated with myself about it, but it's okay. So he goes into Hayate, poke. We summon limit here because I just wanted to get it up on board and activated so that he's going to have turn player priority at the start of the phase, main phase 2, so I just wanted to get it up right there. Anyway, we have a long discussion about whether or not he can go into Kagari, but he can't. The ruling states that summon limit does count previous summons. He thought that it didn't. I knew that it did. So we just talk it out there, but it's okay. And so yeah, he just sets strike, sets Widow Anchor, and passes. So in the end phase, we're gonna activate Scarlet and go on. So Orcust stuff. So he negates the symbol, which is interesting. I guess it's good. I think it's smart because that makes it so that this crescendo that he knows is here isn't live. So I would say that's probably the right move. And he has Raingrave. Like, it was probably correct to do that. Yep, Eldlich attack, Gamma Seal, go into Kagari, beat over Kagari, and end phase set the Wakero. He drops the second ray. Hayate attack directly. Sin jamming waves. Oh, here I mess up too. I played this game at like 6 in the morning, so I was pretty tired. That's gonna be my excuse. Anyway, I don't end up resolving the banish effect of Wakero, so that's basically where I messed up. But anyway, he outs the summon limit, adds back Kagari, goes into Zeke, banishes, and now it's my turn. So, again, we're talking about why this deck is strong. It's like right now I have 2 cards, and in the end, he just gets kind of crushed. We add a card. So yeah, we add Conquistador. He shark cannons my Eldlich on activation. Eldlich still gets sent, so we send a Conquistador. Crescendo add Girsu effect, just Orcust stuff. Yep, Gal, boom, bing bang boom. Beat over, get back Ray, attack again. Go into Kagari, add the Widow Anchor, beat over, and set. So we started the turn with 2 cards. We lost a card because the Eldland got sent, and then he changed the Shark Cannon, and then we still ended with 6 cards, which I think is pretty good. And yeah, he goes Raigeki, we just detach. He goes Widow Anchor, we negate, and he scoops. So I think that's a good showcase of the deck. I need to play more and get to a higher rating, but I am still kind of busy, even though I keep posting these goddamn videos. But anyway, I'm gonna do my best to get to a higher rating to showcase the deck against like more high-rated opponents. But it is a pretty strong deck. The grind potential is just crazy, and also it's like pretty consistent. Like Crescendo's a starter because we just pitch it with stuff. Foolish is a starter, Girsu is a starter, and you can almost always get access to Girsu to get your engine going. But that's all I have for today. Again, check out the giveaway. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't, that's okay too. I still hope you had a good day. That's all I got.